भाई सिर्फ मैं ही हूँ।
आएंगे अमन, बाकी लोग भी आएंगे भाई। Is I am audible? Is my screen is visible? Let's continue. In last session, we discussing about input type. So we already covered some basic input types in your last session. Today we are going to start some advance of your HTML. Remember, I am just covering your HTML, not CSS. So first, we are going to cover all basics of your HTML. Then we will go for CSS. And from today onwards, we are just going to focus on your practicals. Only on your practicals, not for theoretical classes. So I recommend you, so take screenshot of your codes, whatever presenting on screen, or our recorded session is available. We will upload it after end of your session. So you can go through that. So I recommend, if you find any code very useful and if you are willing to try that code, take screenshot of it and just try. If you have any doubt, you can ask in next session, or you can message me privately. So now today we are going to learn how to beautify your, how to add designs and colors in your code, but without using CSS. As we already discussed in your introductory part, that HTML is just structure of your web page, just format of your web page, and CSS is style. But you can do some basic styling with help of HTML also, where no CSS is compulsory required. So you can do some basic styles with use of your HTML also. That things we are going to cover. So what basic styles we can do here by using HTML without actually using CSS. To actually giving style to your web page for web coloring, to add image, to center your image, we must use CSS. But some basic styling we can do. So we already covered about your heading tag, and we also discussed in heading tag there are different type of heading tag varies from sizes h1, h2, h3 till h6. So for example, I am using h4. Any message if I want to write, I will write in between them. And if I run this code, you can see my text visible here. But how to give style to this? How to beautify this code? To beautify this code, here, H4 only, we have to add some style. For that, we have to give command for style is equals to color. So remember the actual spelling of color is COLOUR in English. But for your code, you must use COLOR. Remember. So whatever color you want, you can give. For example, I am giving aqua color. If I run this code now you can see my text in aqua color. So like this, you can give styles to your code in HTML only. For style, you have to write style command inside your tag only. And before ending that tag, you must write your text between starting tag and ending or closing of that particular tag. Remember this. So you must write style in between your text only. Do not close tag and then write style. So you can do some basic styling here only. Now what next thing you can add here? You can add also font color. Sorry, you can add also font size. Font size. So you can add font size also here. Whatever font size you want. So now we are not going through font size because we are going to cover that part in your CSS, how to control your font size. Now, how to add background color. If you want to change background of your text, so how to change background of your text in HTML? So here, how I want to add background color. For that, you have to use style only. Style equals to, here you can mention background color. and whatever color you want. Suppose I'm writing blue, so you can mention here only whatever color you want in your background. If I run this code, now you can see the background is completely changed. But now you can see the complete line along with your text, the complete line of this web page is changed. Background color of complete line is changed. So that's why we are not using styles in your HTML. You can do styling through your HTML code also. But now what is use of CSS? CSS will control this all things. So through CSS you can control this all. Now if I want to change background color as well as I want to change my text color also. So you just have to give one comma here. Then you can continue here writing your text color whatever color you can give. Now if I run this code, okay, so we have to give one more text here called style. Okay. In your HTML, you can assign multiple styles here, but what the problem we are facing that we are not able to add multiple styles here, not because of our coding, just because of format. Some HTML restrictions are there that we have to follow. But if you go through your CSS, you can add anything. You can add background color as well as you can add your text color also, whatever you want. So this was your basic tutorial how to add or how to style your web page through your HTML only. Remember, today only we are going to end our HTML basics, complete HTML basics. From tomorrow, we are going to start our CSS. So that's why today's session is important. If anyone was not able to join due to any reason, please tell your friends to see recorded session. Yes, you can add semicolon. In HTML, you can add semicolon. With help of semicolon, you can add multiple styles. Correct. That is correct. But why I am not using semicolon here? Because this is our HTML. We are going to cover this all things your CSS into your CSS. That's why we are not using that. So you must use HTML with some basic format and restrictions. So through this code, you can style your HTML page. Now let us move ahead. Now, how to create any form in your HTML? You can get form also. Create any form. The tag you have to use that is called form. Inside that form tag, you can create any form in your HTML. For example, first name. So I am using here input type text. If I run this code, is my screen is visible? Okay. So now you can see if I run that code, one basic default format appeared on my screen. So it automatically asks me about first name. So if I show you my code, then so like that, you can create some form. You can add many things here, like first name, your gender. You can use multiple input type here to create form. So for example, I created just single line form. You can add multiple lines here. So whenever you see sign up pages, different login pages in web in different websites, so they just use form tag for it and they customize it through CSS. So we are going to customize it here only in your HTML. So I added just single line. If you want to add multiple lines, you can add multiple line also. For example, I am writing for last name also. Like, remember, you must use input type properly. So which type you want, you can use. If I run this code, now on screen you can see first it's asking me for first name and last name. So like this, you can create any form in your HTML page. Now one question is there, one question may arise. So if you want this last name below this, so what you can do? For that purpose we use CSS. For that purpose we use our CSS. Or now here you can use your free tag also. So for example, I'm just using free tag before. Free. Now if I run this code, some text is present. Wait, let me write it properly. So you can customize likewise you want. Now if I run this code, now you can see it properly. So you can use pre-tag here for this purpose. So without pre-tag, coding like this is not possible in HTML. It is possible in CSS, but in HTML it is not possible. So you can use pre-tag here. So like that, you can create any form in HTML. So many of web developers first learn about HTML. Many of developers learn about HTML along with CSS. But I suggest you learn first HTML properly because HTML also contains very beautiful tags. No need to add CSS. You can control the tags here only on your HTML page. So here you can use pre-tag to customize according to you. So like this, you can create any form here. And remember where to use pre-tag. That is also important. To use pre-tag in proper place. Now, for example, if I want to create a radio button, so I am creating one more form here. Mention input type radio name value 0 to 8. Check. Now I am using checked here. Let me first finish my code, then I will explain this code. Now if I run this code, you can see one radio button and it is already checked. So now let's go for our coding and try to understand this code. So here I created one form. Inside that form, I created some input type is equals to radio because I want to create radio button and I named it as age and I given value 0 to 80. Then I use checked. Now what is use of checked here? If I remove this check, if I run this code now, you can see empty radio button. So what is use of check? It automatically check a particular radio button. So here, so I change the text with age. So here you can name your text whatever you want for your radio button or after your radio button. So you have to select input type. So now what is use of name and value here? You can simply rub this thing also. But what is use of it? I will tell you. If I run this code, now also this code work properly. But now question may arise, what is use of the use of that? If you are creating multiple radio buttons, if you are creating multiple radio options, then you must use that thing. So, for example, if I show you demonstration of it, input type radio. So I am creating one more radio button here. Now, if I try to run this code, so I got age and gender button. So now you can see the problem here. I can select both, but I want specifically select any one. For that purpose only, we need to assign name and value so that your compiler will differentiate between both cases. Now your compiler is confused. You just code radio. Now what is work of this code? To create an radio button. So for both the cases, radio button created successfully. But how to differentiate between them? That is the most important. For that purpose only, you have to define name and value. You define any particular name and value. And one more thing, you can write anything in name and value. Anything you can write. It is not compulsory to write something proper. Now, if I run this code, you can see on the screen. Wait a second. Now, if I run this code, you can see I am able to select only one radio button. So you can see I am able to select any one radio button, not both. Now you may ask what mistake I done before, why I am able to see both buttons. So the mistake I done, that is name. Name should be same. If you are creating radio button for same form. If you are creating radio button for multiple form, you can change name. Name should be same. You can change values. Remember this. So this was your demonstration to create a form in your HTML page. Like this, you can create any form in your HTML page. Any doubt till here? So let us continue. So now I added both the forms together in same code only. So now you can see I added both the form together. So let us see demonstration to add submit button also. Only submit button is remaining in this form. So let us add submit button also. So for that you already know the code because we discussed in your last lesson. Input type is equals to submit. Submit. So we created submit button also. Now if I run this code, you can see this is working like real form. So like this, you can create any form in your HTML page, and you can customize this page here only with help of your pre tag. So if you want to write this first name, last name in middle, if you want to customize this properly like form, you can use pre tag. If you know about CSS also, I recommend you try to customize things in HTML first, then directly go for CSS. I know it is easy after learning CSS to customize any form, but I recommend try to do style part as much as possible in your HTML page because your HTML is very important. Your HTML is base of your form or base of your web page. Now, one more thing remaining here. You can create reset button also. So let us create reset button. So we created reset button also. If I run this code, now you can see one reset button also. So we added some reset button also here. Just for example, I am filling this form. Now, if I click on reset, it automatically reset my all process. So like this, you can create any form. Okay. So I will suggest you to try input type. I will suggest you to try drop down button, try calendar, try time, try radio button, submit button, range button, reset button. So just try your code. Just be prepared and be clear with your basics. If your basic is clear, then it will be very easy for you to go for CSS. So your basic must clear. Any doubt till here? And some more basic codes remaining. I will send that code in WhatsApp in your group after end of this session. So no need to separately teach that. You just go through that code and practice simply, and you will learn that. That are two basic. What basic code remaining? How to create table in your HTML page. So that is some basic code I will send you. You just go through it, and if you have any doubt, you can ask. So any doubt in today's session? Remember, from tomorrow we are going to start your CSS, and I am telling you to please be prepared with your HTML basics. Do revision, do more and more revision for your basics, and be ready for your CSS because we are not going to repeat that HTML basics again and again daily. So try to cover your basics, and you have already recorded sessions. If any problem with your basics is there, you can ask me next session. You can go through our recorded session. Any doubt till here? So shall we end our today's session? Okay. So we are ending our today's session here. Thank you.